All right, hello, and thank you very much for tuning back in. I want to apologize for anybody who's actually been looking forward to the videos for the delay. It's been, just a crazy couple weeks with everything. But what I wanted to talk about was some of the stuff that's coming up this year and kind of how I'm preparing for it, right? So I've already started scouting. Deer season comes up here in like 2 months, just over, right? So September 15th, that week is opening day of bow season up here. And I really think if you're not already scouting right now, you're probably behind the curve. And that's not to say that it's too late, but it is to say that I've already started to notice patterns of the animals, and I've already kind of picked out the ones that, for where I'm hunting this year, that I think I need to get rid of, and the ones that I might let walk, and I probably will let walk. And then I've seen a few of them that they're the ones that I'm looking forward to hunt and to harvest if I get lucky enough. So what we're implementing now is the better buck next year, right? If anybody who's ever watched MeatEater or listened to Stephen Ellis' podcast, he goes into extreme detail about it, and we just kind of stole that idea from him. I hope that's not trademarked or anything like that, and if it is, I want to apologize. But like that philosophy, for anybody that doesn't know, kind of brief overarching, is let them go. And then what we adopted is the if you're not going to hang it, don't shoot it policy, right? So if you're not willing to put the antlers on the wall, let the buck grow, unless it has some kind of genetic issue that you don't want to produce into the rest of the herd. And I think following that's really going to improve everybody's harvest. And then the other thing I've noticed is there's way too many does, right? So we kind of all sat down and talked about it, and we would like to keep the doe to buck ratio somewhere between 2 does to every buck, right? Which is still really high. The natural ratio is closer to 1 to 1. But we want, if we have a hard year, the population to be able to rebound rapidly. So we want more does than bucks. The other thing this does is it doesn't allow breeding pressure. It doesn't really push a whole lot of breeding pressure on the younger bucks. So you end up with only the older ones that have the best genes reproducing and passing those on. So a lot of bucks won't make it to 4 and 5 years old. They just don't have the genetic makeup. They don't have those good genes in order to make it through those tough years and to make it that long. And you don't want poor genes being passed along, and when all you do is you just slam every buck that's out there, 4 pointers, 5 pointers, 6 pointers, small eights, like maybe second year eights, and you're just slamming them and putting them down. That it just that you put a lot of breeding pressure on deer that wouldn't normally be breeding. So you'll have 4 pointers that might have something in them that they're not going to make it past 2 years naturally, and they're passing those genes and those traits along on to those and then younger bucks and generations to come. And it takes a long time to kind of weed out a lot of those bad traits. So starting scouting now is going to help you to identify, one, which deer you actually want to shoot. Two, you're going to get a pretty good overarching view of what the ratio is of like your does to bucks population. Where we're hunting right now, we're at about 5 to 1, at least on half the property. We haven't really scouted the other half real well yet, but the half that I'm planning on hunting a lot of is pretty close to 5 to 1, at least from everything that we've seen, which is entirely too high. So we're looking at shooting mostly does this year. There's really only one buck that we as in me have seen that I'm willing to put on the wall and spend the money to get him out done. So not really looking at harvesting a whole lot of antlers this year. I mean, I'm just not. I'm not a trophy hunter by trade, but I like to consider myself a good conservationist, and this year, the issue that we're having is we just have too many does in the area, and I think that can be said for most places. So if you've never done it, really look into it, right? Like, it's a great program. It's a great thing to look into, and it doesn't ever stop your freezer from getting out of meat either, because most of these places you can slam all the does you want to slam. I mean, like where I'm from in Virginia, you have to shoot 3 does to tag out. They implemented earn a buck. And then you can shoot all 6 deer. I mean, your big game stamp, I think in 2021 comes with 6 deer tags, and you can shoot all 6 of them as non-antler deer if you so choose. And so just if you look at the numbers like that, and kind of take into consideration, like, wow, holy crap, like they want me to get rid of those, I can shoot 6 of them. You should really go out and maybe one year you don't shoot any bucks, because you'd say to yourself, oh, I can't eat. You say to yourself, I can't eat 6 deer in a year. Okay, that's fine. However many you can, You should maybe take 1 or 2 years, and then that should just be doe harvesting years, and then it takes a lot of that pressure off the bucks. And get as many of your buddies to get in on this program as you can too, because the more people that get in on it, the better hunting is for everyone. I mean, absolutely everyone. That does not take a whole lot to get a really, really strong, really, really solid deer population. It just takes time and relieving breeding pressure off of younger bucks that shouldn't be reproducing. And then the other thing is if you see one that has a genetic deformity, that's one that you need to remove from the gene pool. So I'm not saying don't shoot bucks. I'm saying be selective about the ones you shoot. Either shoot really, really nice ones that you're willing to put on the wall, or shoot really, really crappy ones that don't have a chance of ever hanging on the wall, because you don't want those genes to reproduce. And just be selective. Thanks for tuning in, guys. Follow for more deer hunting and everything hunting and fishing tips. I hope this helped you. If it did, go ahead, smash that follow button, smash that like button, subscribe to me. You follow me on TikTok as well. I do a lot of stuff on there. This is a Squatch signing off. Wishing you guys a happy 4th of July.